Hello everyone. I want you all to understand that I'm starting to realize a lot of things and that I'm accepting it. I realize that as far as the way I think, the type of level that I'm on, I realize that a lot of people is not on the same level as me. A lot of people are on a low level, as in this earthly material money system, basically. Everybody wants the same life. No one wants to go beyond what they've been taught on this earth. They just want to know the same thing, live the same life, live in this corrupted system, go to school, go to work, be brainwashed. They'd rather live a life of a lie than the truth. The truth, or good is evil now. And evil is accepted. Did you understand what I just said? Evil is being accepted, and good is being evil, or bad, or boring. And I realized that basically 90% of the people on this earth is accepting bad. They love bad, evil things. They love it. They look at it as fun and entertaining. Doing the same thing every single day. Smoking weed, drinking, partying, having sex with the same sex. Cheating, lying, killing, raping. Getting up, doing the same thing every single day. Everyone that's in 90% of the people on this earth are focused only on this earth. What I mean is not the earth itself, but earthly things. People are not focused on what's beyond this earth. People are not focused on what we actually live on, what this earth actually is. People are not focused on what's inside the earth. People are not focused on change. People are not focused on trying to change, trying to make things better for their children. They're just focused on having fun, being a child themselves. They're focused on themselves and entertainment, pleasure. They're focused on the same thing, trying to make more money just to live earthly, instead of making money trying to discover different things on the earth or beyond the earth. They're focused on the same thing. When they make money, they're focused on the same thing. For an example, when you make money, when anyone makes money, they become rich or become famous or whatever the case may be. What is the main thing they do with the money? They buy material things, cars, houses, clothes, shoes, chains, watches, Rolexes, all these things that does not benefit them at all. It does not change anything on this earth at all. It does not make anything better on this earth at all. Just making their life better for the time being. Because still in all, even though they became rich or famous or whatever, or they're getting there, they still have to live in the system of control. Even though they made it big, they still have to live in the system of control. Whether you're rich or not, you're still not in control of your own life. You're living a life that these governments want you to live. No matter how many things you buy as far as cars, materialistic things, no matter what you buy, you're still not happy because you're still in an enslaved system. Because you can easily lose the money. Anything can happen to you on this earth. As long as there's corruption on this earth that will corrupt you, that can change you into being corrupted, none of that stuff matters. Because you're still living on an earth that's full of corrupted people and living the same life that someone else is living. You're not living any different from anyone else just because you got more money. You just have more money. That means you can buy bigger things than anyone else could. But you're still buying the same thing. You're just buying more expensive things, nicer things that look better than someone else's, but still in all, it's the same item. Or it's the same gadget or the same type of technology, but different. More advanced, but it's the same. Before you made all that money, you was getting all them things before you even made that much money. When you became rich, you're just buying the same thing over. It's just high tech. Which it does not mean anything. If you look at things differently, the way I do, you will see that everything on this earth that you buy is just a distraction to keep you from knowing the truth, of going beyond what you're thinking at this moment, what you've been taught. It's all a distraction so that you won't learn anything else as far as what's beyond the earth. What is this and what is that? Things that you never really think of. They don't want you to think of it because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to explore. They don't want you to question. So they brainwash you. They blind you with materialistic things. They also gave you this money system that they created. This money system was never here. It's been created. It's been introduced just to blind everyone. Just for them to have something to do, to keep them distracted. So they have to work to make money. So they can keep their house lights on. Keep their furnace on. So they can have heat. Go out to buy food. Buy this and buy that. Buy a car. so you can travel. Buy this, buy that. It's all a distraction. Money is a distraction as well. They put this here for you all to focus on it. So that way you won't focus on anything else but money and material things. Them are the main two things that everybody on this earth is focused on. If I'm lying, why is that happening? Think about what I just said. If what I'm saying is false, why is it happening? If I were to throw out a $50 bill on the ground and in front of 5 people, they will fight over it. That's a distraction. Money is a distraction. So that way you only focus on money and material things that you see around you so you can buy it. Because you know you have to have the money in order to buy it. Now if money didn't exist and only just material things, you won't have to worry about money. There will be another system for you to get the item that you want or need. There will be something else, but they put money in this system to control you both ways. In 2 ways. Because in them 2 ways, it's harder for you to get out of. Because you have to focus on 2 things to get out of. And that's material things and money. There are 2 things you have to try to get out of the habit of making money and buying material things. Not focusing on it is what I'm saying. Because we know we all need that. Because we or you accepted it. Because you don't want to change this system. You want to accept the system. That's why the system is steady going on. Because you accept it. So by you accepting it, it's going to continue until you incept it. Something that I came up with. Once you start to get out of the system, and I'm not just one person, but everyone, or a certain amount, things would change for the better. You see, I realized that my consciousness, my way of thinking, the level that I'm on, is way higher than any of you on this earth. I realized that. By me knowing this, by me knowing that I'm different, by me knowing that I'm special, by me knowing that I'm awake, by me knowing who I am, changes everything. And I have to accept it. Because change in a good way of, as far as me changing, this change for me is good. It's not bad. I realize this change, people cannot handle because it's new to them. Because they never heard the things I speak of. They can't handle it. They only accept what they've been taught for all their life. When they hear something new, because someone is awakened, they reject it because they never heard it before. It doesn't make sense to them because they're not on the same level. They're still focused on material things. They're still focused on the same life. They're not focused on change. They are still children. That's why people act like children because they're still children in the mind. In the mind, you're still a child. In a grown-up body, you have not matured. No matter if you do have your own car, your own place, it doesn't matter. Because you're still doing earthly, materialistic things that the government wants you to do. You're not living the life you want to live, you're living the life they want you to live. So, in that case, you're not happy. You're pretending to be happy because you're used to the lifestyle that they gave you. Think about what I'm saying. You're used to it, so you assume you're happy, but you're not deep down. You're just accepting it because you feel you can't do anything about what's going on this earth. So you accept it. You feel you're powerless. You feel you're nothing. You feel you can't change anything. You feel that nothing matters. So you feel, what's the point of even trying to do anything? Or trying to change? Or trying to do anything? You think it's not going to do anything or mean anything down the line. They want you to feel that way. They want you to feel powerless. They're making a fool out of all of you. By me knowing the level of consciousness that I'm on, the higher dimensional, my higher dimensional self, I realize that I'm on a higher dimension. I am not on the same level as everybody else on this earth. I realize that I'm on a higher level, beyond the beginning, as in the highest level. That's what I mean by the beginning. My inner self is coming out, as in my true self is starting to come out of the shell into this flesh, outward. And this is the reason why people think I'm crazy, or they can't handle what I speak of, or they say I'm weird, or people just treat me different in general. Because they're not on the same level as me of thinking. They're on a lower vibration than me. By me being on a higher vibration than them, they can't handle what I say because they're still stuck in a lower dimensional vibration. I realize there is no woman for me on this earth. I also realize that I don't want to be in a relationship because I realize that the women on this earth, the men as well, are all corrupted. They are not on the same level as me. If you can't find someone that's on the same level as you, it will never work out. That's why a lot of you out there are in relationships that's not working out, because you're not on the same page or the same level as the person that you're with. That's what the same page, being on the same page means. It means level, not page. If you're not on the same level as someone, it's not going to work out. You have to be on the same conscious level. If you're not on the same conscious level as your mate, it's not going to work. Because y'all both thinking two different things. You're not thinking the same thing. So it's not going to work out. You're vibrating at different levels. one could be higher than the other. So y'all gonna have disagreements with each other. And in that case, it's not going to work. Because y'all both have different ways of thinking. And you're always going to disagree with each other, which means the relationship is not going to work. Some people stay in relationships for a very long time just because they knew that person for so long. Just because they are used to them, so they stay with them. It doesn't mean that that's your soulmate. It doesn't mean that you were meant to be with that person just because you're married, or just because you're engaged, or just because you feel close to that person does not mean they're the one for you. Think about what I'm saying. I pretend to be on everyone else's level. When I'm around people, I pretend to be on their level. Just so they won't call me crazy or what the heck is he talking about. So, I die down, or I bring down my frequency to yours to pretend that I'm on your level, but I'm not. So, I realized that I don't want to be in a relationship because there's no woman out there that's on the same level as me. And by me being on a higher level, that means a woman cannot handle me. They can't handle my love. They can't handle my frequency. They can't handle my vibration that I send out because they never had it before. So they treat me like crap because it's new to them. They don't know how to handle it. They like it, but they don't know how to handle it. And that's why they go back into cheating on me, or whatever the case may be, using me. They go back to guys that treat them like crap because they're used to lower vibrations. They're not used to a higher vibration, a higher dimensional person. They're not used to a higher dimensional person. What you people talk about all the time as far as heaven, do you know that the people that's on a higher dimensional level, as in heavenly people, they're vibrating on a higher dimensional level? So, you people that speaks of wanting to go to heaven and everything else, you're not ready to leave. You want to know why you're not ready to go to this so-called heavenly place? It's because you still accept evil things. Because if a good man or a good woman come to you in a higher frequency or a higher vibrational love, as in, because love is power. So when a person that has true love come to you and you never experienced it before, you like it, but you go back into lower dimensional because you're used to that. You don't know how to handle the true love. You don't know how to handle the higher vibration. So by you can't handling that, by you cannot handle that, that means you can't handle going into this higher dimensional place because you're still vibrating at a lower dimensional level. Understand what I'm saying? So a lot of you, 90% of you that speak of going to heaven, you can't go. You can't go to this place until you start vibrating at a higher frequency, at a higher level, as in love. When you start vibrating higher, then you'll be ready to go. But you're not ready to go yet because you're still doing earthly things. You're still accepting what's going on this earth. You're not trying to change anything. You're accepting things that's happening. You're still doing the same thing. You're accepting the life that you were given, not the life that you want. It's not the life that you want. It's the life that you've been given from the government. You're not in control of your life. Because if you were in control of your life, you can do anything you want. As in good things. So, you don't have control of your life, people. Because if you had control of your own life, you would be doing what you want to do. Not what you have to do in order to get what you want and get what you need. You will be doing what you want to do if you were free of your life, but you're not. Your life is being controlled, but you're so dumbed down that you don't realize it. And if you do realize it, you don't want to question it because you're living in fear. You're afraid to question. You're living in fear, so you don't question anything. This is how you know I'm in a higher frequency or a higher dimensional self. Because all of this knowledge that I'm gaining, is not coming from no books. I don't read books. It's coming from within myself. Knowledge comes from within because of who we are. If we are part of the Creator, that means you are the Creator, but you're not the true Creator, you're part of the Creator. We are all one, as in the Creator is one being, but the Creator was a thought. We were in that thought of the being, of the Creator. But the Creator expanded and created us into one. We're all still connected to that one source. But we have our own free will of thinking. But we're still connected to the main source. Understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. If you understand what I'm saying, this is a big thing. It's really big. If you understood what I just said, it's really big. These words that I have on this paper that y'all see, that should tell y'all something. I love you all.